NXT UK has taken over NXT.
What up, Mox?
Guys, get into this review and reaction of tonight's episode of NXT, with a lot of implications for NXT Takeover number 36, the night after SummerSlam. So the show started out with Sarai versus Dakota Kai. It was supposed to be Sarai versus Ember Moon, but they said Ember Moon not medically clear to compete.
Really soon.
Yeah, that could mean future endeavor. You never know now in WWE. Make sure you check out the NXT is Dead video. I mean, it's a wild, it's a big thing for me to say, big statement. Just check it out. Let me know what you guys think. So Dakota Kai takes her spot. They have a really solid match, between the two of them. A couple wonky spots here and there, but it was a really good match between the two. Kai gets the win. She's going to take advantage of Sarai afterwards, but here comes Raquel Gonzalez and chases her, and she hightails it out of there.
Now. No, come on.
This is making a statement right here. That's what they...
Oh, Gonzalez is here.
Yeah, good way to start the show. I like the fact that they try to build Dakota Kai a bit stronger to look against Raquel, just because of the fact they kept pushing the fact this is the undefeated Sarai, and this is like, try to push that over and make it feel more important than what it really was. But yeah, just a good way to get Dakota Kai over, looking a little stronger going into the match against the bigger, stronger Raquel.
Yeah, and it's been already announced, Takeover 36, Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's title, so it's going to be a good one. Next thing we got Pete Dunne comes out and interrupts Dragunov. He's out there cutting a promo. He's there on NXT UK invading. So we have him there. Pete Dunne comes out, talks trash to him. Obviously, he's going after Walter Dragunov at NXT Takeover, a guy that beat Pete Dunne for the title and beat him afterwards in the rematch as well. So there's a lot of back and forth between these two guys, and it sets up a match for later on in the night between these two guys. Then we would also see Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell going on a date. This kind of was not really all that great because, Johnny Gargano kind of already acting like her parents. Dexter Lumis coming to their house to pick her up. I guess she lives there now. It's just kind of, I wasn't really feeling it.
I like the fact that part of me laughed just when Dexter Lumis opens the door, has the flowers, and and Gargano's looking. I'm like, what the hell? Where are you coming? What are you doing in my house? I thought that was okay. I mean, you want some variety on your show, so I don't think it was that bad of a segment. It was okay. But Pete Dunne versus Dragunov, I'm excited that is a bust-ass match. It was a bust-ass match. It was a really good match. And I'm excited for Dragunov and Walter. That's probably the match I'm most excited about for whatever reason.
Yeah, for TakeOver, it's going to be one hell of a match. It's going to be physical. They're going to hopefully get the time. I assume they will get enough time to get that match, all fully fleshed out on the show because there are a few matches on the show. But stuff announced for next week's episode of NXT, which is MSK versus Imperium for those tag team titles. Then you have Roderick Strong of the Diamond Mine minus one guy now. They don't have no Tyler Russell. See who replaces him or if they even replace him. He's taking on Kushida next week for the Cruiserweight Championship. So those matches happening at the go home before SummerSlam because they don't fit on the card. Next thing here was LA Knight versus Andre Chase, a squash match. Knight squashes him. Then we get Ted DiBiase coming out, and the gauntlet is set. So he baits LA Knight to giving Cameron Grimes another shot at this $1 million championship taking place at NXT Takeover 36. Is this match. Now, if Grimes wins, he's no longer the butler, and he holds on to the title. He wins the title. If he loses, the butlership goes to Ted DiBiase. So Ted DiBiase will become the butler of LA Knights. So it's going to be an interesting one. It all seems like we all kind of felt like this was going to happen. It was going to lead up to Cameron Grimes getting that title off of LA Knight and getting the win back. So it seems like that's where it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm excited for the match. The stipulations are just kind of up in the air because we don't know what the future holds for NXT with all the crazy rumors and everything that's what's going on. So we don't know what storylines are going to look like, what this brand's going to look like. So I'm excited for the match. It's been fun. It's been interesting. It's definitely kept me entertained. So I just want to see where this all goes. But again, going past this NXT, it feels like a changing of the time and the wind, and it's just what is going to happen after. So who knows where any of these storylines even go, or if they keep them, or what the hell even happens. So I don't know. Just I'm excited for the match, but so worried about what happens after.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down afterwards. I feel like after TakeOver 36, we're going to see major changes and an overhaul to the company. I mean, to NXT. If not then during the draft period. Because if the rumors are true, there's a big rebranding, a big change, changing of the guard in NXT from Vince McMahon. So we continue on with more Johnny Gargano and Indy Hartwell, Dexter Lumis stuff. They're trying to interrupt their date at the restaurant. it is what it is. I mean, it's just a little funny little thing that they do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Not much to talk about there. Then what we get is Gigi Dolan along with JCJ. She's taking on Amari Miller. And Dolan gets the win. Now, this seems to be setting up for a faction for the females, JC Jane and Gigi Dolan, along with Mandy Rose. Seemingly, that's going to be the faction because they showed a tweet from Mandy Rose, congratulating Dolan on her win. So we could see that going down, a female faction. That might be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, something to work on with the women's division. That's stuff like this keeps me a little bit excited that they are going to keep some of these storylines going, some of these wrestlers, at least for the near future. We'll see how the next few months go, but definitely interesting to have a women's stable. There hasn't really been that, so definitely something interesting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Next thing on the show was the Undisputed Finale setup. So that's the name of the match. That's the final match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. It's part number 3 in their saga happening at NXT Takeover. They're going to, talk about the match. It's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. So this is the match we're going to get. And it's kind of running into that same area, same realm of when Gargano and Ciampa's feud kind of just ran a little bit too long, and it was just it didn't finish with enough steam. And this is where it seems like this one's going. The Undisputed Finale is the name of it, obviously a play on the Undisputed Era, and it says 2 out of 3 falls. The first match is just a regular match. The second match is a street fight, and if there's a third match, third fall, it's gonna be a steel cage. So
If there is a third and deciding fall needed in your match, it will be contested in a steel cage.
So it's gonna be good, but I just maybe this has kind of run its course already, because even this didn't really feel like it was all that compared to their previous interactions on the mic. So we'll see how this goes down, but I kind of feel like it's hitting that spot where this match might be too long, because they've already had that really long stand and deliver match that really went too long. They had the Great American Bash match, was a really good match. Then they're gonna have this match is a 2 out of 3 falls, which is gonna take up a lot of time. So this
probably like an hour.
It could be running into that. Like, remember, they had that long match, Ciampa and Gargano, in that empty arena. It was super long. This could be running into that realm.
Yeah, this promo wasn't strong by either guy, especially Kyle O'Reilly. It came off weak. He stumbled a couple words. I didn't really enjoy it. It didn't come off like that. It didn't feel as important as it should have been. It's just like the payoff for the biggest feud that's been going on in NXT for the last year or so. So it didn't really work for me. This match they picked a hell of a match to get into. So it's just, that's a lot to fill up. It's going to go to the steel cage. You just know it is, because why wouldn't it go? Yeah. If you built it this way, it's going to go that way. So it's just, again, it could be great, but it's going to be long. And this is it's been a long feud, and this could be the end of Adam Cole, could be the end of Kyle O'Reilly NXT. We don't know. So hopefully they go out with a bang and they steal the show. But I don't know. This segment kind of just was underwhelming, and hopefully next week they can save it. But we'll see what happens. Yeah,
because both guys seemingly have run their course, especially Adam Cole. He has nothing else really to do in NXT. So the contract rumors are true, he might be leaving if he doesn't resign, or he signs up and goes up to the main roster, and then probably gets future endeavored anyways. That's the way it works in the main roster. Kyle O'Reilly still hasn't accomplished a ton on NXT, so he may stick around if they decide to keep him around. Remember, there are changes coming. That could be one of them. He may be leaving. Who knows? We'll see what happens in the upcoming months. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the upcoming months. Next thing on the show was the NXT Breakout Tournament quarterfinals. Semifinals. Yeah, it was semifinals. Odyssey Jones and Trey Baxter taking on each other. Really short match. Odyssey Jones gets the win. None of these really matches in this tournament have really been long and kind of fleshed out. So it kind of is what it is. We'll get Carmelo Hayes and Duke Hudson next week. I kind of feel like they're going for Duke Hudson versus Odyssey Jones in the final, but it could go with Carmelo Hayes. We'll see what happens. The final, I think, takes place on NXT Takeover 36.
Yeah, this has been the weakest part of every show. Like, these matches, I really don't care. They're short. They're not that interesting. It's not really doing anything for me. It's not really putting anybody over to me. It's just there. It's kind of filler to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. Not really that great. Now, next thing on the show, we had Boa with Mei Ying of Tian Sha. No Xia Li, because she took a devastating loss, so she's out. He's taking on Drake Maverick, and Maverick gets the win. So Boa gets the win. Boa gets the win, hits a roundhouse kick, gets the win here. We'll see what happens if Boa goes on a little bit of a more dominant run, and we get more out of Tian Sha, which has been kind of lackluster. It's been kind of hit or miss.
It's been trash. Let's be serious. Yeah, it's been one of the weaker builds I've ever seen in NXT.
Yeah, it's been real hit or miss, like gone and then it comes back, and then gone and comes back. So we'll see how it goes down.
I mean, just going back to those crazy vignettes they were doing, they were training and beat the shit out of crap out of each other. I don't know. It's just Boa didn't look that dominant against Drake, and I think he needed to look bigger and strong. I don't know. I didn't love the entire thing. I can't get behind it. It's too stop and go for me. It's just not that interesting, really. So I don't know if therethere's anybody that can get sent out somewhere else. So maybe both.
Yeah, maybe might be the person. All right, so the next thing on the show was the big main event, Pete Dunne versus Ilya Dragunov. And it's just an awesome match. It's, very, very physical. You know what you're getting out of Pete Dunne, we're getting out of Dragunov. Dragunov looks like he's killing himself out there. Such a physical guy in the ring. I mean, it looks like he puts all effort into absolutely everything he does. I don't know how he has probably the craziest gas tank you probably see out there. The guy's just non-stop, relentless.
Get tired.
Yeah, tremendous match between the two guys. They work so well with each other. What could this mean for Pete Dunne going forward? I don't know. Does he go
his
back?
His contract's up too, right?
Yeah,
he's working on.
That's the rumor. Is his contract is up as well. So we'll see what happens with him and where he goes from this. But we had Walter come out and do a distraction, allowing Pete Dunne to get the win. Then he had to face a kind of a stare down between Walter and Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne leaves the ring and allows Walter to kind of beat up Dragunov. But Dragunov fights back, and he stands tall at the end.
Message to the #1 contender.
He's not looking to send a message. He's looking to take him out.
Boom! Torpedo Moscow by Dragunov.
Stands tall at the end, holding the title. I kind of feel like Dragunov's the guy to take the title off of Walter with his 700, 800 day run, and then maybe Walter versus the winner of Cross. Joe, maybe, wishful thinking, who knows, but we'll see what goes down. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Pete Dunne going after this, because he's kind of just there. He's got the Rich Holland stuff now, but there was no Rich Holland and only lurking on the show, even though Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher talked about them in a promo. So it's murky waters going into NXT for the next few months. We'll see how everything goes down.
Yeah, I mean, right now everything just feels so up in the air. We don't know if to get excited for things because you don't know how long this is going to go, or whether if any of these guys are going to be here. We just don't know with the way the news that came down this week. It just kind of shook the entire landscape of NXT. But Dragunov Walter, man, that's going to be one hell of a physical match. Yes. I want Walter to win. I don't want Walter to ever lose the UK title just because he's probably low-key one of my favorite guys in the world right now. Just how realistic, he legit scares me. If I saw a guy on the street, I would want to mess with him. He's just this big man who chops you like a tree. It's ridiculous. So I just want to see Walter continue destroying people and chopping people down, and I will love to see him on the main roster or even on NXT full time. But I don't think he wants to come to the States. He said it before a few times, so we'll see what happens. But I just want Walter to win. That's basically what I want. That's all that I want for NXT TakeOver. Yeah, I mean,
psychology-wise, it makes sense for Dragunov to be the guy to beat Walter, because the unstoppable force, you have the guy that's just relentless, nonstop, and gives a 1,000,001% to try to get the win. So it's gonna be a hard-fought battle. So it was the first one. So we get this big rematch going to take place on TakeOver. So it's just massive stuff. But it's gonna be pretty crazy to see it go down on TakeOver. It's gonna be awesome stuff.
My heart says Walter. My heart says Walter. My heart just says Walter.
Could still be Walter. It could be Dragunov wins and Walter goes away. Maybe, who knows? We can see there's a lot of things that can go down right now. It's kind of an interesting time for NXT, but a lot of changes seem to be on the horizon. But who knows? It could be just a lot of hoopla and hot air, and it may not be that crazy. But we'll see what happens. This is our review and reaction for tonight's episode of NXT. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you check out the NXT's Dead video. If you got a problem with it, let me know what your problem with it is. If you like it, let me know that you like it. Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate you guys for tuning into this one. Make sure you drop a like on this video, hit the chair in the corner before it hits you first, and sub to the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Later, folks.